We're going to anchor up to it and take some measurements of it. This is the bird rack at the end of Bayport. And hopefully some of these birds get off there because we don't want them pooping on our heads. And we're going to measure the height of it. And they're shitting as they're flying away. Alright, we're going to, actually, you know what? We're going to kind of go around it a little bit. So we hopefully shoo these suckers off.
Bigger than I thought.
It's not that. No, it's
not very big.
No, I figured it'd be 10, 15, 20 foot tall. But I'm catching it at the bottom. I mean, you can count the slats. We'll count those slats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them from top down from the back side. And then from the front side, see, it doesn't have any of the side slats. Well, a couple, but know where the sign's at. It's mounted. Hey guys, get off of there because we don't need no shit on us. How long of a tape measure you got? All right, I'm gonna shut it off because I think I got it pretty good right here. That should give us a good idea where we're at.
And then we'll measure off the water.
Yeah.
Just for the fucking. Even though that changed.
Yeah.
So right now.
Yeah, it changes from
right there.
From the top to the bottom. That's what, 22 inches. And do you remember what it was from the top down, so I can say it verbally so we can remember?
It was 11 something.
11 foot something. So see, it ain't as tall as it. I mean, this is where that. It isn't. 137 inches. It's 11 foot 5 inches. And that's without including the light at the top. And it is, here, I'll push you back.
Looking at 10 foot 2 inches.
10 foot 2 inches wide from the back side. And that's flush back side, and I'm always looking at it on an angle. I'm getting bird poop on my hands. You got bird poop on your shorts now. Now what are you measuring? Oh, okay, you're going to measure it all the way around? It's a triangle.
Yeah, that's about 10 foot too.
Yeah, it should be pretty equal all the way around, brother. Don't fall in. I don't want to have to throw you a life preserver.
Wow, this is rocking. Yeah, 10 foot.
10 foot all the way around? Okay, 10 foot triangle all the way around. Alright, I don't think you can get any better measurement than that, dude. You did really good. Oh, my light's almost ready to hit. Alright, I don't have a lot of storage on this camera, so I gotta...
Oh, wait, we want to measure these.
Measure what?
Well, just approximate.
Oh, yeah. They're about the size of a telephone pole, so 9 inches?
Yeah, about 9 inches, yeah.
About 9 inches wide.
That one, or we can use these for breaks. Yeah, hell yeah, this would be easy, dude.
Damn, dude, I could almost set my, dude, I could almost set a piece of wood on top of that right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
With my camera mounted right on it.
We are in the mirror.
Let me, yeah, I feel like I'm on a mirror right here. 'Cause, dude, look at this.
I know, it's all just blended together.
This is really strange because, like I said, in order for me to get that other bird rack, man, it would have to be out here, and I can't even tell right now where this the sky and the water meet, man. It's man, that is strange because I do feel like I'm like sitting right on a mirror here. Yeah, it is. Let me see if I can zoom out there and see that boat that I see right here. And I got the sun behind me. I can't see shit in my camera screen.
yeah, my camera don't want to focus on anything that way. Wow, my camera just does not want to focus on anything.
No, it's like everything's just mirroring right now.
Wow, dude, that's
Isn't that some crazy shit? I'm zooming all the way, totally back, all the way back, and just doing a scope around so that way people can see that, you know, those clouds are, I mean, we're out 4 miles, say 3.5, 4 miles offshore, and those clouds are way the hell out there. And I always see these clouds out here, you know, when they're out here. And look at that kind of haze out there too. That is crazy shit, dude.
like we're getting blasted by the fucking deer.
I'm even gonna try to zoom in on that boat right there that's right here, but man, once I start zooming out, I can't distinguish the water from the sky, which is really strange. Now maybe when I get it back at home, I'll be able to see it.
To see on the screen, but
dude, this is very strange because I can't get to that boat.
My eyepiece. See that on the horizon? Oh, it's the water. It's a rough.
There's that boat.
A rough patch in the water.
I don't know if I can zoom in on it any further. The boat's moving around and I'm having a hard time. I'm catching little pieces of it, but
coming our way, it looks like.
yeah, the boat's freaking turning on me, so I'm losing my... There it is.
It's coming out of the mirror, right?
Sorry everybody, I can't... We're on a boat, so it's hard to really hold this thing steady, but I'll try to put it in slow motion and... Alright, I did slow this down 0.25 times. Try to make it a little more viewable. You know, trying to use a super zoom camera out on a moving boat. It's really tough to do. You know, there was times where the boat didn't rock as bad, and then there was times where the boat really rocked, and it really was just kind of due to just the little wakes in the water. But again, you know, you're trying to zoom out on something, any little movement just gets this camera just a rocking and a rolling. So I just let you finish watching this piece of video. I might have to slow down the next piece, and I'm just probably going to leave the rest of this silent until I get to the next part of the video, and you know, leave a little audio on it, and I might have to delete some of that audio and even slow that part down. The further I get away from shore, it's definitely a lot harder to zoom in on the shore or zoom out into the horizon at all. You know, plus, you can obviously see this mirroring effect that was happening. And, you know, everybody wants to think that right where that visible water line is the actual horizon, but I assure you that it isn't. And, you know, Richard, Taboo, Cass, you're going to be getting this too. So, you know, I just want to let you know that, you know, right here you can obviously see that this boat is above that visible water line, but he's still in the water, of course. So again, you know, let me get to this next piece. I really don't feel like talking all the way through this. I got one heck of a headache, and I also have to go out and get these coordinates off my GPS. I might have to just give you that information later on another little video. It's been raining all day, and I really, like I said, I didn't feel very good to go out there and be messing around with that and trying to figure it out. Plus, I have some issues with that GPS. I should have bought a little handheld one and used that, but you know, money's a little tight right now. All this rain's kind of got business slowed down. All right, I'll let it go to the next piece. Okay, man, any little bit of bouncing, I'm zooming back.
You got so much zoom on that. Little slight.
Yeah, I'm zoomed back. I'm gonna back off just a little bit, but there's the land. Yeah, we're floating away from that bird rack. Tide's going out, dude. Oh wow, I'm way off the... I want to just try to get back over here to Bayport. I'm going to try to use the eyepiece here a little bit. There's Bayport right in there. Okay, all right, and let me just zoom back here. There's the bird rack. There's the land behind us. Over here by the bird rack, just a little bit to the left of it, is Pine Island. Yes, we have a Pine Island near Bayport. It's another little park where you can go to swim if you want to swim in infested bird shit water. Yeah. All right, there you go. There you go. Okay, some of this audio isn't going to match up with the video either. Again, I slowed this down 0.25 times just so I could, you know, not have so much damn bouncing. Plus two, stupid me, I kept the motor running, and that also was causing a vibration that was really shaking me around too. I did start getting a little smarter and shutting it off and filming from there. But right there is Bayport. That was the parking lot, and you could actually see the light of the sun reflecting off of those windows. You could always stop it and pause it, go back and stop it and pause it and look at that. I did it a couple of times just to make sure that that's what it was. And you can even see a boat out there. You see the towers very easily sticking up in the background. And I usually never even pay attention to those towers, but after watching my video, I'm really surprised that I'm able to see that. And houses way back in the backside that I normally don't pay attention to either. Usually I'm up closer to land, and it's very rare for us to have such a calm day to go out as far as we did. We went out to some bird racks that are quite a ways out there, and in one of my videos I show after the main bird rack, north of that main bird rack, you'll see another bird rack. I got another video that shows it too. And then there was another bird rack to the right of that one. I didn't try to find the third rack. I think it might have been just a sign near the farthest bird rack, the one that was to the north, the second one. And you'll see on the next part of the video, I think we go there. I'm not sure. I got so much footage, but I'll let you know. You'll hear me, because I did a lot of the footage of the bird racks as we were approaching them with my cell phone. Just because I knew it was going to be shaky and I could hold that cell phone a little more sturdy than the camera. So I did take some footage. The bird racks was done with my cell phone camera, and then this, of course, was done with my P900. And this is Bayport bird rack. Kind of south of it. We're kind of moving away. We're drifting. It was pretty interesting when you look back at land with a zoom camera, and I can see as well as I can back there. But there is a lot of mirroring ramping up, and that's what I think that this mirroring does, is it causes our line of sight to be deflected upward, and it cuts off all the lower ends of the buildings. And this will help you out, Richard, as far as what you've been trying to do. I think this might help you out. Yeah, I'm a little out of focus on some of this stuff, but I decided to just post everything I had in an unlisted video and just give it out to a few choice people I know. And like Taboo Conspiracy, if he wants to pull out a little bit of this video and use it on his own, for his own purposes, that's fine with me. I tell them I don't hold no copyrights on this. They want to use my footage, I'm more than happy to let them use it. Same way with you, Cass. You find anything that you want to use, you got most of my footage anyhow, except for my cell phone footage. And the GoPro that we had on the boat, for some stupid reason, I had issues with one. I had two. My card wouldn't work in the one, so I put it in the other one, but I didn't know I had it set for time lapse, and it wound up being just garbage for use. Doing a time lapse and you're hauling ass, it was just crap. So we didn't even bother. I didn't even bother using it. All right, here comes the next part. We pack up from here, and we take off to find that second bird rack that was a little bit northward of this bird rack. All right, here we go. This is the other bird rack that I get on my video, standing on the shore at the water's edge. This is the other one that I get. And I don't think it's any taller than the other one, do you?
Well,
I think it looks the same size. Yeah, the triangle ain't as big. That's the north rack. Okay, I did find this rack mainly on instinct. While we were at the other bird rack, I kind of like gave myself a line from where I could pretty much tell about where I filmed from. And then I just went a little off to the north side of that and kind of drew myself an imaginary line in my head and actually drove right out here to this. We could not see this from the Bayport bird rack though. It was not visible. Even with a camera, I tried to zoom out and find it and couldn't find it. So it was very interesting that I was able to actually locate this as easy as I did. Okay, can only zoom in so far, but I know that those two humps out there. Oh shit.
Whoa. I wasn't paying no attention either.
Yeah, we gotta make sure we don't run into the bird rack here. Oh, my boat almost hit it.
That was close.
Okay, from fishing offshore with a friend of mine that takes me out grouper fishing, you know, he helped me find the Bayport area out in the horizon. When we zoom in or you look out there, you can see like two little humps in the tree lines, and that's where I can find Bayport. So when you're out this far, it's fairly easy to track yourself back to at least get near the channel by going toward those two humps out in the water. But we're probably another 3-4 miles from Bayport bird rack, maybe even a little bit more. I'm not. Sarasota.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yeah. Okay. Trying to stay on that horizon line. We're in a boat, so moving around doesn't help. All right. A lot of these videos. Again, I slowed down this 0.25 times. Just because, you know, it's such a far zoom to get toward the shoreline, you know, and the camera's bouncing so much. Of course, here we go again, you know, wanting to slow it down to where you could actually see out there instead of it just bouncing around pretty heavy. You know, we got out to this spot and it was actually seemed like it was a little more calmer right where we were at. But then later on, it does, the wind does pick up a little bit more. But, you know, again, I was holding the camera and I was trying to stay in the middle of the boat to keep from having all that rock. So I kind of like centered myself out there to stop some of that rocking and rolling. Again, you know, you can look back to shore now. I'm going to say I'm 7 to 8 miles out, zooming back to shore. And I literally did get a pretty good zoom here. So take a look, see what you think. I'm just providing this. Like I said, I'm going to make this unlisted video and just give it to the few people I know. But look at that hazing that's going on there, too. You know, I can look at it like an atmospheric mirroring. And that atmospheric mirroring acts like a duck blind, man. You can't see nothing underneath it once that mirroring starts. I could imagine that it could cut off big chunks of land depending on the angle of that sun and where that mirroring starts at. Plus, too, if the water is really, really, really calm closer to the shore, I think that could even cause even more mirroring, where maybe I wouldn't even have been able to see the land at all, because you can see how that glare of the sun bouncing off the water with that haze is causing some issues. And as I turn the camera, this is why I did a lot of moving around with the camera, you'll see a little bit of change here and there, which I think might be important to Richard, being that he's trying to do a simulation. So I very much hope that this is useful to you. Did spend a lot of time out here, you know, doing a lot of filming, a lot of picture taking. Like I said, Richard, I got a bunch of pictures too. I can I can share them with you right on Skype. So, you know, if you want some of those, be more than happy to give you some. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to pick some out, some of the better ones out, and send them to you while we have our next discussion on Skype. All right. Just going to let this finish up and go silent. Oh, there was the water tower, too. I actually got the water tower from out there. That was tough to do, too. Like I said, we were on like a drift, and while drifting, the boat was kind of turning and twisting a little bit, too, which made it hard to keep your bearings on it. Oh, I failed to mention where that water tower is. It's actually right at the end of Hernando Beach Channel, where I come out of the Hernando Beach Channel from their boat rack in Hernando Beach. So it's pretty interesting how we got some pictures the way we did of it and how it looked and appeared. All right, we're trying here. It's really hard on a boat. Got a little rocking going on. Try to stay on that edge right there. Maybe I might have to slow it down in my conversion, but it is hard to stabilize this thing when you're on a hell of a zoom. I gotta zoom back. That's just too much rocking. Yeah, try to stand still as much as possible.
I'm trying, yeah.
And look at that mirroring. You know what? Right where I'm at, you know what? I need to center myself more in the center of the boat.
Wow, land is completely blocking itself out down that way.
I'm just hoping I can make out the water tower.
Goddamn curvature of Earth.
I don't see. I see is everything got smaller back toward the shoreline.
That goddamn curvature. It's so fake.
Your head's right in my way. Okay, you're good. I just wish this boat wasn't rocking so damn much. I'm not getting shit out here. Not rocking so much.
It's hard to.
I start getting something and then the boat rocks. I zoom back a little bit more and the boat's still rocking. But I'm definitely going to get a mark on that, on this other bird rack, so we can use my GPS to mark it out. There's a better
picture of the bird rack. Is that the bird rack?
Man, I can't even tell if I got a freaking decent focus on here because, man, it's just like everything's just whited out back there. This is a trip, dude. I mean, really, it is. Because as soon as I start zooming in, everything wants to blend into the clouds that are underneath.
Yeah, mine don't want to stay in focus for shit.
I'm just trying it at different zoom levels. The whole shoreline. Maybe that'll come in better like that. All right, let me go. I'm going to go back to this rack and drop a line or mark on my GPS so we have at least a mark on it. All right. we were having a hard time trying to zoom out, and I don't think I got any full zoom out of this camera until we actually got over to Hernando Beach Island, and we went to the a far island out there, the farthest one you can get on the canal, that actually had some vegetation. There was some little rock islands you could get on, but if you didn't mind getting swamped by a boat when it went by, we could have got on one of those. But you see, I was having a hard time with this camera. Um, I don't know if it was the glare of the sun, um, and also the coloring inside my boat. I just really was having a hard time even seeing my screen and seeing what I was picking up. So, I hope this is helpful um, to you, Richard, or Taboo. Like I said, if there's anything that you can pull out of this and use, I'd be more than happy to let you use it. No big deal for me. Um, and if you can't use it, just throw it in the trash, whatever. Like I said, I tried to do my best out there. Next time, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to take some plywood with us and maybe set it up in these bird racks to stabilize ourselves. And I've got a long cord for my remote. So we're going to have to wait for a nice calm day again, like today, this particular day. And maybe I can get some really good zoom from out there. But when you're standing on this boat with all that rocking, as you can tell, it was tough. It was very tough to do. My footage when I get to this island is a lot better. Um, but you can see the mirroring on this. I slowed this one down to 0.25 times. Again, otherwise you would just see a lot of wobbly, crappy stuff on the camera or on the screen, and you'd say, "What the heck is this?" I guess I could have let you slow it down in YouTube, but if you slow it down in there, you might even get a better view. All right, and there's that water tower, and we're quite a ways from the shore though, and I was quite surprised to even be able to hold the camera this steady to get this much. So again, use what you can out of it, and I hope it helps you out. All right, I'm just gonna let it play to the end on this slow motion, and let you use whatever you want. I assume I could have cut out some of the bad parts, but I'm just too lazy today. Like I said, I got a splitting headache and really haven't felt good. So I think that sun just sucked all the energy out of me yesterday. All right, well, like I said, I hope you enjoy it. I'll try to make it the best I can. It's going to be a long one, but there's going to be a bunch of stuff in this. I think you can use something out of it. By the way, by the looks of my video, Florida is a pretty flat damn state. Not a whole lot of hills around here, nor any type of mountains. It's pretty damn flat, like a pancake. Alright, I put this on autofocus, which I don't think was really the best thing to do, but you know, you can actually see in the water the reflection of the clouds up above in some places. Um, I slowed it down like 0.50 times, uh, just doing a couple of 360s with a short zoom. Again, if I tried to do a big zoom, just too much bouncing around. And we were at the farthest bird rack, and it was called the North Bird Rack. This was the farthest one that I went out to. Again, you know, I'm actually fortunate enough to have the waters calm enough to get out there. Usually these waters will beat the crap out of my flats boat. Because it's truly a flats boat. It isn't meant for going out in deep water or offshore. So again, I try to do the best I can. I hope this helps y'all out. Um, I know this is going to wind up being a long video, but like I said, you can pick and choose, take whatever you want, whatever helps you. That's why I did this. I thought maybe it'd help you out, Richard. Maybe even give Taboo Conspiracy something to work with. It's up to you guys whether you want to use any of the footage or not. Like I said, I'm going to just put it in the unlisted and let you guys decide what you want to do with it. All right. Again, I'm just going to move on to the next piece here and leave the rest silent. Actually, I was wrong about being the farthest away. This next piece coming up, when we make it to this next bird rack, is actually the farthest offshore we get. So, sorry about that. I thought we were already out at the farthest one. But you can pretty much tell by this, we're quite a ways out. Wait till I get to this next bird rack. 4x zoom, and I'm going to do my, just go back here to the south until I start seeing some land here. Should start seeing some land, and if I don't, because the focus on this, if we polarize it, well, there's I'm doing a 360 right now. Man, I hope this 360 fucking reveals something, because I tell you what, that was, in fact, I think that I might be catching, we're going to get on the other side to see what the sign says, see which bird rack this is, but we are way offshore. It just says Cutter's Rock. Okay, so this is Cutter's Rock. I hope I can hear myself. And let me see if I can do a zoom in on that shoreline. And that's a 4x zoom. With my damn phone. And I'm going to drop a mark here on my GPS. I'm actually surprised in part of this video right here. You can see the condominiums that I filmed in a previous video. That's 10 miles away from Hernando Beach Channel. And here I actually see the edges of it in this video, right in the middle of the screen now. And we are way offshore. Like I said, this is the farthest that I got. And then zoom back, and I'll get the better focus. Wow, that is just crazy. That is crazy, isn't it? That is crazy. That is crazy how it reacts on your camera.
Yeah.
All I feel like I'm doing is just looking into a big mirror, dude. Like a big freaking mirror. Damn. There it is.
Water tower.
You got the water tower?
2 tits.
Don't drop your camera, Dave. I should have put my hand strap on it, but I didn't.
Yeah, water tower.
Yeah, I'm back up toward where those the power plant stacks should be, but man, you ain't seeing crap there, brother. I'm telling you. Yeah, that's big, heavy mirroring. Damn, Dave. I went ahead and slowed this down 0.50 times. Only because, again, I was having a hard time zooming out at this long distance, trying to hit that shoreline. I think my friend there got actually some better zoom than I did, because his zoom camera didn't quite have as much zoom power as mine. And I'll be posting some of his video too, of course unlisted, and you can take a look at his. He had a lot of issues with his focus, though. He was having a hard time focusing, but when he did get into focus, he got actually some good good shots toward the shoreline. Even got a couple of the water tower that was better than what I got. So again, I'll be letting y'all look at some of his stuff too in a different video. This is going to be long enough. Right here where those little humps are is where Bayport is. I said it in the other part at the beginning of this part, but because I slowed it down, it threw all the audio off. And I do catch a little bit of this water tower, but again, I could not zoom in. I was also having a really hard time seeing my screen. I mean, my screen seemed to be like more in the dark side, and I think it was because I've got maybe like a white bottom to my boat or a grayish, and it was just blaring right back into my screen and my eyes, made it really hard for me to see. I went by the water tower there, and you can see how that mirroring is toward the shoreline. And there's the water tower. I just passed it. Was having a hard time seeing the screen. I should have been using my eyepiece a little bit more. And I think on one part I did decide to use the eyepiece. This might be the piece that I was using the eyepiece on. But again, just too much shaking, too much movement for a big zoom. You're going to see these condos, I believe, coming up here too. Come on, get back down to the water. Yeah, maybe it's in another piece. I was really trying to catch Hernando Beach and the water tower. Those reflections that you see on the shore are houses. And then I'm going to go into my cell phone video again next here. And we took off and left this and moved towards shore. I'm pretty sure. And then I might stop here and let us take a couple of pictures. But this is the other one that I definitely get. And most of these are all about the same height, dude. I guarantee you.
Seem like that.
Yeah, they're all about the same height.
Even some of them seem even a little smaller than the 10 foot, you know?
But this is almost the angle that I'm hitting that on, right here. And you can even see how even the back horizon is where it gets cut off. If you look at the horizon there, that's what cuts you off of seeing that lower half at a farther distance. That is tricky. That is tricky right there. Look at that. That is what I see right there from the Bayport. Alright. Okay, I did a little bit of filming from out in front of that bird rack. that we were just at. I think it's behind us. Kind of drifting back toward the shore now. The tide change is coming back in. Or actually, I think it was still going out, but it was almost at its low end. So I did get a little better zoom. Still a little wobbly. So I'm going to slow this one down by 50% too.
You can tell.
Yeah.
It came up like that today.
I think I got a better, I think I just did a better focus now. I think I was blurred out before. Let me find about where it's at, right about here. Zoom in toward the shoreline. I'm going to zoom in all the way, but I should be around Hernando Beach here somewhere. We should be able to spot that water tower out. That water tower is right around in there somewhere, right where I got my camera facing. Let's go in a little further and see if we can't pick it out. It's so hard to hold this camera out here on. This is why, man, if I had a gimbal, a big camera gimbal, dude. Hey, people want to donate for a camera gimbal? I'll take this bitch out in my boat all the time, man, and give you video from driving my boat right off the shore to driving back to the shore and show you how that horizon line works. Especially if I could have a zoom in like this and drive and show you how that horizon, it's never It's only hidden. It's never going down. That horizon's never going down. So some of these people that say, oh, I can tell when I'm standing on the shore, I can see the water curving away from me. No, you can't. You see it blending into a mirror. I'm doing a 360 at this zoom all the way around right here. Dude, this, like I said, I can't really see my camera that well because of the light. That was one of the biggest problems I had, was actually seeing my screen when I wasn't using the eyepiece. I have a hard time using the eyepiece too. You know, I'm all sweaty. And a couple of times my camera went black, and it was because I basically had too much sweat on the eyepiece. I slowed this part down here a little bit too, because we were on the go. I handed my camera to Cass and let him do some filming with it while we were actually running. Did a pretty good job with it, being that you know, we were doing a little bouncing. So you'll see some bouncing in here, but I slowed it down, like I said, or 0.5 times. I don't know if this would be much of any use, but it was something different to try as we were moving. A little different perspective of things. Yeah, here's another piece. And I just have to slow them down a little bit, otherwise they're really just shaking around, so it wouldn't do us no good to, you know, not slow it down. Boat's just kind of sitting in the water, motor running, shaking, vibrating. I do shut it off a little bit later here, but still, it just gave you a different perspective of zooming back into that shoreline. Not even sure where I was zoomed to. I think I was zoomed over toward Hernando Beach here. There's a lot of houses there, so I'm sure that that's where I was pointed at, toward Hernando Beach. And again, you'll see the water tower in here also. I do believe in one part of this, you'll see the water tower. Just like I said, I don't know how good this is going to be for anybody, if they can use it for anything. Maybe just use it for your own perspective. Just kind of feel like it was almost like a waste of time with all this shaking and whatnot in here. That's why I left that. I think I left the part in there where I said, "Hey, anybody want to donate a gimbal? I'll go out here, you know, for my camera. I'll go out here and videotape the whole shore or whatever." On calm days, though, because rough days, it beat the crap out of me. But look at when you get to like these little bay areas where it has a little, you know, indentation into the land. You can see how that water just starts to just mirror real heavy right there. Also, it's got more of a probably a windbreak, So it's not getting this wind, and that's what's making the water so calm and so reflective. And here's the Hernando Beach, this is actually down towards Hudson. It's 3 condos down there, and check out how they just look like they're just floating in the sky. And definitely not floating in the sky, but that's the perspective that you get because of this mirroring. And I'm sure you guys know this, but I thought this was some pretty good footage. We were still quite a ways away. And then when we get to this, we actually do get to Hernando Beach Island. I kind of thought I got ahead of myself saying that we were almost back there, but I seen I had other videos here that I had to slide in. So again, you know, just whatever you can use. On this next little piece after this, after the transition, I had a hood for my camera that I put on to see if it'd make any difference. And it didn't. I mean, I really couldn't tell while I was out there, so you tell me if this hood made a difference or not. I'd like to hear your opinion. All right, so when you see this transition comes up, it's just a short little video with the hood on, and I think I took it back off. Damn, dude, I had some really nice focus on that skyline over there. Let me see if I can get back on them buildings.
Tell you what, I got some good fucking footage so far, though.
Man, I can't see nothing in my eyepiece anymore. I think it's because I got so much sweat in my eye. I was gonna say, where's the rack? Here, that ain't that far from us either. You know, I don't think that that's the one that I want, the rack that I was looking for.
There they are. I knew they'd call that.
Alright. Okay, this is as we got up to, back up to Hernando Beach Channel. This was what they call Bill Watts' rack. And you'll see here the houses on the right. And then I go zoom back over here to this sign, but you can see Pine Island, which is north of Bayport. You can see some houses back there. And guys, you'll start seeing this boat coming our way. So I know if I don't get my butt up on plane here, this boat that's coming at us is going to swamp us. And then there's the water tower in the background on this too. And then we're going to head over here to this island. We're going to set up and do some filming from this island. Or at least I am. My buddy's camera battery went dead and he had no more battery power. Wow. Man, what the hell? I might have to take off my this polarizer. Holy shit. I might have just drove my whole camera out of whack. What the hell is going on? Man, why the hell is my camera so dark? I don't have a lens. Maybe I don't even have it on. It's on, dude. What the hell's going on with my camera? Maybe this thing again? Yeah, I had so much sweat from my eye sitting on that eyepiece that I blocked the sensor out, and the actual viewing screen went dark. I guess because it still thought I had my face up next to the eyepiece. But you know, we are on this island, and you know, I try to zoom out as far as I can now. And I got some good footage here. I think you'll like. So let's see what you think. Again, I'm not going to talk through it all. I think it's better I just let you guys just watch it. Um, I could add music, make it all nice and everything, but I don't think you guys need all that. Being that I'm making it unlisted, what the heck. Alright, well, I hope you guys do enjoy this. If not, I had fun this day doing it, but like I said, it did whoop the hell out of me. Okay, I slowed this little piece down right here because this was actually where the smokestacks were coming up from the power plant that we'd been trying to get all day. But we'd see it one minute, and then it'd be like whited out the next minute, and then couldn't see it, and then we'd see it, and then couldn't see it. So it's strange, very strange. And back to normal speed. I did have my camera set pretty low, only because it was kind of breezy up on this rock island. The breeze did pick up. It actually got picked up the closer we got to land. So the only way I could keep the shake out of it real bad was to lower it down as low as I could. Um, you know, I didn't have it on my lowest setting because I can actually get my tripod down to 2 feet. But I left it up on one of the lowest stands before I actually, the legs will spread out where it almost sits flat on the floor like a spider. Um, but, you know, we were sitting in a real rocky area, so I couldn't do that because then my camera probably would have been looking into the rocks. But just to let you, you know, give you a perspective, I was maybe 4 feet off the water, 3.5, something like that. And this is Bayport's bird rack from Hernando Beach, which gives you actually a closer perspective of it. I think from this channel, this island on this channel, is actually closer to it. Of course, these islands are dredged out, and they go quite a bit out farther than Bayport does, probably at least a mile further out, right? Just so you have an idea on that. What I'll try to do is on some of my pictures, I'll take a picture of this navigation chart if I can, if it comes out, and stick it in with some of the pictures. Now I'm facing toward the north, well, they call it Pine Island. Um, I guess it could be like a little peninsula out there. You do got to go over a bridge to get to it. But you know, some still houses and all over there. Not a whole lot of them, but this was one of the places during the No Name storm that those people's houses, a lot of people had to get up on their roof to get out of the way of the water. So yeah, it was high water up in there at one time during that No Name storm, and that was over 20 something years ago. But to give you a little perspective, and then I just kind of worked my way back down the shore, back toward Bayport, and just play around with that edge right there, give you the perspective of that nearing. Right? Just like to throw in a little information so you're not totally lost on my direction and whatnot. Later in here, I do a little time lapse of that, a 10-minute time lapse. I got like 4 time lapse that I did. And you see this little shake, even with the time lapse, I had that little shake in there. But again, you'll see it toward the end of this. I think it's one of the couple of the last videos I do. Focus. Damn. Holy crap, look at that. Dude, I might be filming exactly what Richard wanted me to kind of film right here. This might be the kind of video he wants to see, where that horizon's just about at the vanishing, where you can like barely see it. I mean, it's like in the mist. Look at that sign right there too. I got that channel marker sign in there, the green one. I wish I could read what number it was. There, can we see it any better? That's full zoom. I'll back out a little bit. Wow. Damn. That's strange effects off of this, the water, that mirroring effect is just like, I'm hoping this is catching this shit the way I think it is. Yeah, I won't be able to tell until I get it on and look at it, you know, at home. Actually, I don't have the polarizer on. I took the polarizer off. I think I actually turned my compensation exposure up a little bit too. Look at, I'm getting part of the sky behind it with it. Just a smidget of the sky. And we keep turning back toward Bayport here. I want to sit down, man, but I keep... I'm going to be almost to the back of my boat when I hit toward Bayport. There's another Bayport marker. What the hell is that I'm hitting right there? That's a house farther back there, so I still need to go to the right. I don't know what that is. Something. Yep, there's another marker. So I must be still in the channel. I want to go right to the edge that blocks me off usually from seeing Hernando Beach from Bayport. We'll be on the other side of that point. The point that we see all the time. Dude, you're going to really be interested in this video right here. I can't believe I'm catching this the way I am. And it's like right on the edge of being
Weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a drink here soon again. Man, I wish I could tell exactly where I was at right here. I think I'm already on that point. Yep, right there is the edge. Oh, man, that's almost right where. That's like almost right where I'm at it at Bayport when I'm filming over on in the other park part, not on the seawall. Look here, there's that point that we usually see on the left. It's on the right. Yeah, that point right there is usually when I'm over there in the park, not on the seawall, filming back toward Hernando Beach. You know, sometimes I catch boats sitting there, and people kind of use that as a little partying place. They'll pull up there because there's a little point that sticks out, and during low tides, there's quite a bit of sand, and it's pretty shallow right in that area, you know, during that low tide time. And you'll see that in some of my other videos when I'm catching boats coming out, the shrimp boats coming out of Hernando Beach. So, you know, just opposite direction, different perspective, being out on the water, pointing back that way. So it really kind of gives me a different outlook on it too. Oh yeah, I deleted some of the audio just to let you know that we had some vulgar language going on there a little bit, you know. So I don't need to post that to you guys, you know, especially like Taboo if his kid's up or something and hears me swearing. Wouldn't be nice for his kids to hear that. So I just deleted it all, the rest of the audio. We started cutting up a little bit. Then I kind of was letting my camera set right in this one spot for a little bit. Went over to get a drink out of my boat. Kind of tried to kick back and relax for a little bit. I mean, you know, this really gives me a different outlook on it too. After talking to you, Richard, about um, you know, the conversation that we had about this diffraction or reflection. You know, our eyesight is deflecting off that mirror and cutting off the lower ends of the buildings, which I really look at that cloaking device that you were talking about, how they're using mirrors to cloak people out. Excuse me. Same thing there. I agree 100% with you. You're exactly right on that. Because I can, I mean, I literally do see it. You know how that mirroring uh, effect is just being exactly that. It's a blind. You know, we can't see it, the lower ends of it. Um, and I remember I was doing some research on mirages, and there were some people that scientists, I guess, that did an experiment with putting like a board at a small degree, or a mirror at the end of a board or something with a small tilt to it, and they got the same effects. It was they were talking about people would sometimes see land out across the water certain times of the year, and then, you know, they said one guy went to investigate it and never found nothing, and then, you know, they were like, well, sometimes, you know, it is something there, and sometimes, yeah, you can see it. And then it went on to say that they did this little experiment with a mirror and showed how, you know, this mirroring effect will actually deflect your eyesight upward, or deflect. Uh, it's almost like a rebound. Your eyesight, your line of sight, is getting redirected upward to where it cuts off that. It's ramped up. Is pretty much the way I take it. Um, so again, you know, I was trying to pick up this edge right here where it was like in that mist or in that mirroring. Um, these trees are there. I'm just only able to pick up the tops of them because of that refraction, diffraction, whatever you want to call it. And I perfectly see it and understand it quite a bit now. Still have a hard time explaining it, but you know, this is what I do see, and it's flat out there, baby. It's flat. Otherwise, why would the rest of this water be like it is? I mean, I should see everything rolling away from me. Instead, I'd get this mirroring effect, and I mean, I can see how it's cutting everything off. People are blind if they don't see this, if they don't understand it. They're about as blind as a bat. I'm just going to let it finish up this video without any audio. I think I tongue-tied myself enough. Well, actually, what I do is I give you I'm about 3 miles, I'd say, from some of this stuff. Further up the shoreline I go to the left, I'm a lot farther away. You're talking a lot more miles. Bayport is probably 3 miles from me. That Pine Island with the houses is probably about 4 to 5 miles away from me. To give you a good idea, I'm not exactly right. I'm not on the money, but I do have a map, a navigation map that I can take some measurements from and see where it's at. Actually, I just got out the nautical map, and Pine Island here is approximately 4 miles away, and Bayport is approximately 3 miles away. And I'm real close to that Bayport mark when I was real close to that point I was talking about. All right, give you a little idea. And that's just from this channel. And I know I was a lot farther out than that when I was out at the farthest rack. That was the farthest we went out. Now I want to say I was out 8-10 miles. Very easy when I was out at that farthest bird rack that we went to. And I think that was called Cutter's Rock. Okay, somewhere right in here, I lift my tripod up from this lowest point all the way up to the top, and my tripod goes up to about 5.5 feet. And that's about where the lens is at about 5.5 feet. And I'd say I'd probably be another 2 foot from the water. It's not very high of an island unless you get up on the higher part, but we were on the lower end of it. So right now, that's what I'm doing. I just kept the camera running, and I'm lifting up the tripod legs. So I'm all over the place with it. But this next few parts, I'm going to be up higher. And then I do put it back down lower to do the time-lapse videos that I did. But I think I keep it up for this next part. I'm not sure after the next transition. I might delete the audio on that and verbally tell you what I did with it. All right, so now I am up higher with my tripod, and you can resolve that a little bit more of where that mirroring effect is occurring. Dude, I think I'd do a time lapse of that sucker right there. Even with it hopping around at this distance. That might be an actual good, you know what, actually I'm going to lower it back down and do a time lapse at this pretty much distance of it. I think that would be awesome. Even if I just do a 10-minute time lapse or something. With it being lower to the ground, it is a hell of a lot more stable. A hell of a lot more. could be behind some that other brush on the backside of this island. But this is the wrong way of breaking things. The wrong way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I lowered this camera back down just so I could do the time lapse. Fixing to do, I think, 4 of them, and I do them one towards that house, and then I do some toward the condos that are 10 miles away. Zoomed all the way in, or not quite all the way in, because I wanted to keep all 3 of them in the area or in within view, and then I do a couple other ones a little further pulled back on the zoom. And of course I slowed these down like 10 times. I mean, you'll see a couple of boats go by, and of course they're cut off just like you would expect them to be. But if you take that mirroring out, well, I'm sure we would see that boat. Those boats go right on by, fully in the water. But that mirroring is actually definitely in my eyes is what's cutting us off from seeing that part of the horizon. So it is, it's duck blinding us, brothers. It's duck blinding us. Oh, actually, this one I thought I was going to get the smoke towers to the um, power plant, the Crystal River power plant. It should have been right in that area, but you see how it's all whited out. I think they were really pumping out some steam out of that thing because you could just see how whited out it was right in that general area from even far away. Like I said, once in a while we'd see it, and then next thing you know, you didn't see it. And the wind was kind of coming out of the north toward us, so that's why I think it was all kind of blowing back toward us, and it was just whiting out the sky right in that area. And you could obviously see it right there. So I think that's all the smoke or the steam that was coming out of the power plant. And this, again, I don't think this is at full zoom. Like I said, I wanted to keep all 3 of these condos in. 2 of them are facing toward us, and one of them's kind of on a 45-degree angle toward us. You can go on Google Maps and find this. It's called Hudson Beach. And there's like I say, there's 3 condos really close to it that you can check out on Google Earth. And then this last part, I zoom back a little bit and do another 10-minute time lapse of it. And all of these are slowed down, like I said, times 10. So again, I wanted to do this because in this whited out area to the left of those condos, there's a big bay back in there, and that's where I actually do a lot of fishing. It's called Arapica, and there's actually 2 bays. There's a part called Belcher's Mine, and then there's Arapica, which is another inlet where I used to come out, launch my boat and go out and around and then go back up into Filman's Bayou. So there's actually 2 big bays back there, and that's why I think everything just blends right into that sky. Guys going by in a boat right in front of the camera. I didn't even notice that before. But they were quite a ways away. So again, you know, just different perspectives of what the horizon is. So again, I hope this helps you out, Richard, and even Taboo, and even Cass, see what we caught out there. All right. I think I got one little last piece of funny, humorous video, but I want to listen to it first before. Otherwise, I might have to delete the audio on it too. Alright, this is with my cell phone too, and you can still even see them condos way out there, and you'll even hear my camera in the background doing the time lapse. I should have caught that boat. Do something. Man, you're still doing a time lapse? That's the bug's perspective on the ground. Look at how that everything get cut off. That's the bug on the ground. There you are, Neil deGrasse Tyson. There you are, the bug on the ground. And as you rise, look at, as you rise, you get bigger. You rise, you get taller. You get a better visual on what's going out there. See how that is? Mr. Tyson, you physicist dumb motherfucker, got everybody believing your bullshit. Listen up. We're gonna make you the bug on the ground. I got a vet for Neil. Hey Neil, why don't you get in an astronaut suit, right? Go get in that damn vacuum chamber that they got and take all your astronaut buddies. Bam! Big shit. Covering up our sky, our big beautiful sky. And it's shitting all on top of it. Look at him, look at him. Look at him. Think he's proud of himself? Look at him. And he stopped spraying. Look at it. He stopped spraying, dude. It ends. Abruptly ends. Oh, like I was saying, Neil, y'all get in that vacuum chamber, you and all your astronaut buddies, and we want to see them suck the air. Suck the fucking air out of there while you guys are in there. And then we want to see you guys float around like you do on the Vomit Comet. Huh? Huh? How about it, Neil? Or do you want to be that bug on the ground like you are? Look at that sky get cut off because you get lower. Look at that perspective. Oh, you like that? There you go. That just shows you that no matter where you're at, even if it's a globe, no matter where you do, you rise, you see farther. Dumb fuckers. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. That's a diamond shape right there. Everything goes to a point. Everything from the side comes into a point. Everything from the top and bottom comes into a point right out there. Like a big diamond shaped point. Bing, bing, bing. Get it? Neil? The lower you go, the less you see on that horizon. I had to put that last part in there, but I did think I slipped up there, but you could hardly hear me. I appreciate y'all taking the time out to watch this. I hope you can find some use out of it. Alright, man. Y'all have a good one. I ain't even going to put the end on it because it is the end right about now.